Welcome back to Match Night. The CBC.ca's Chris Jones covered Canada for a number of years now, including throughout the World Cup. He's been writing about what lies ahead for Canada this past week, saying, quote, "It won't be easy or automatic. It will require ruthless forecasts and tougher choices, especially for someone like Marsh, who leads with his heart. He'll need to start playing Ralph Priso over Richie Laryea, Nico Segura over Stefan Eustáquio, Promise David over Kyle Larin. He'll also have to start Owen Goodman over Maxime Crepeau." Wow, okay, lots to get there. Let's start with the goalkeepers right now, Jordan. Listen, Max Crepeau, I think, probably had one goal he can definitely consider one he should have had at the World Cup. Yeah, the Switzerland goal, right? Important goal, obviously, but I think it might be too soon to write him off, even though Owen Goodman clearly is a young goalkeeper, has got a huge future ahead of him.
Yeah, I think so. I will say, I think in that position, when you take it just solely a goalkeeper, you could be 35 and still be playing, if you're playing quality minutes, right? It's not the same like other spots, right? You see keepers going in being 40. It doesn't matter if you're showing up big for Canada. I think the issue when you look at Crepeau is the fact that you had that little bit of letdown against Switzerland, but it was just the fact that it was, okay, it's St. Clair. No, it's Crepeau. Oh, it's St. Clair. Now, if you're looking at 4 years' time, there could be another keeper that's better than both, right? And I could understand what Chris Jones is saying in the article, because you're basically saying that in 4 years' time, this is wide open. Owen Goodman was good enough to be the third keeper based on the fact that how good he could be in the future. But I think it's even wider than that. Wheels, you mentioned Pantemis before the tournament, before the World Cup happened. There might be a keeper that emerges that's young, that's talented, that is good enough in these next 4 year time. I think if they earn it to some degree in club football and how they perform in camp, give them a shot. But this whole, it's either St. Clair or it's Crepeau talk. I mean, you have to open it up. You have to widen it. You can't really go into, whether it be Copa, Nations League, or the next World Cup, thinking it's just those two guys. I don't think that's fair.
We cannot do this again. Max wasn't awful at the World Cup. It was an awful goal to concede. That's on the goalkeeper. But I just don't like the way that the entire goalkeeping situation was handled from day number one. But I don't think it was because Canada was playing from a position of strength. I think it was more about position of weakness. And I think it's an area where there can be improvement. And I'm not trying to slate Max or Dane. They're fine goalkeepers, but could there be a better possibility? And I think that if one of them was that much of a standout, they would have been named well before the World Cup, and we wouldn't have had this charade of back and forth and him or him.
Well, I do wonder, had Owen Goodman had agreed to play for Canada 2 years ago,
sooner,
maybe that he wouldn't have said that and said, "These are my two guys."
The thing with Owen Goodman, and I tried to watch as much of him as I could last year, he had a poor season. Season before, he was excellent. Last year, he played for two different clubs, didn't have a whole lot of success. Now he's gone back on loan again. Now he's at Dundee this season. So, you know, is that on the same level? How much of a step up is that from League One? I mean, moderately. You play Celtic and Rangers. And
you're going to face a lot of shots.
Yeah, against some teams.
Yeah.
He has something to prove. I like where Jordan's going with this. I think it has to be an open competition. This is a meritocracy. Yeah. Age is part of the consideration, projecting ahead. But again, you just can't go out and give jobs just based upon age. And let's see. At some point, that's the case. If Goodman thrives at Dundee and earns his spot in the team, then absolutely you move on. But you just don't move on for the sake of it. We're 4 years out right now.
And I think Crepeau, when I look at that 4 year cycle, he got an opportunity based on how he performed for Canada.
Yeah.
How that happens, someone like Jesse Marsh has to give an opportunity to someone else. It's like, I'm not slating Crepeau and what he's done for Canada. Like, you have to go down for someone who big saves Crepeau has made in big moments. But in order for another keeper to step up for Canada, what do you have to do? You have to play them in those type of games, right? You have to play an Owen Goodman. If it's against Chile or Peru, whoever it might be, you have to give them opportunities to also stand on their head. That's the only way to give a fair assessment about how keepers are.
And the reason why Goodman's name is part of it, he's a Crystal Palace player, and he was a dual national who committed to play for Canada. So you think that there would be maybe some favor, kind of push.
It's also that Eurocentricity as well over MLS players. They're always going to get more respect. Now, I still think...
That's a fair statement.
I don't think Max did enough to lose the gloves. I thought he was good at the World Cup, aside from that one goal. But Owen Goodman hasn't taken them just yet. Like you said, he's got to prove himself, and maybe he can do it at Dundee.
I feel like we question so many other parts of the pitch for Canada, like, oh, get rid of this person, put that person there, just to see, just to experiment. think it should be the same with the goalkeeper position, specifically now. Because if not now, then when? There are going to be important games as the years go by. Now's the time where you can be like, you know what, this person has been training well. They perform very well at camp. Let's see them in a game when it matters.
You've got to play for your club team, number one, right?
True.
And that hasn't been the case for the number one for Canada for a long time.
I can't be talking about goalkeepers for 4 years.
I think we will.
4 minutes.
Buckle up, baby.
I can't do it.
To the next World Cup,
honestly.
Maybe a strength. Maybe we're at a place of strength right now with like Pantemis, you mentioned there, McGill. There's good goalkeepers coming through the system there as well.
It's true.
Beyond the goalkeepers, we saw some other names mentioned there, Jordan, by Chris Jones. Listen, some young players. Stefan Eustáquio is not an old player by any stretch. He's still in his, mid to late 20s at this point. Played very well at the World Cup.
29?
Yeah, maybe Canada's standout performer at the World Cup, arguably. But there's some young players pushing at the moment. Is there one player you can see making a real move? I mean, listen, 4 years is a long time from now. We can experiment all we want. But that starting 11 right now, we can name it right now, their best 11, I think. They're not old.
No. I could see when Sigurd played as well over Saliba going into the important game towards the end of the tournament. It kind of struck me a little bit by Jesse Marsch because I think when you look at Sigurd and his profile, it's the fact that he's a hybrid, meaning he's very technical in moments like this, can do a give and go and get forward, but it's his brain. He has the legs to go and drive, and so did Saliba. I thought Saliba had a great tournament. I thought this was a great step up for him. But at the age of 22, for Sigurd, he has a high ceiling. Specifically for Canada and for club. I think his next move for club is going to be huge on his career based on what he gets week in and week out. You got to go somewhere where he can play. But at his age of 22, I don't care that he went to York. I don't care about anything else about how he went to Croatia. I see him in moments where I'm like, okay, you need to have a decent performance. And he always hits like the nail where he needs to. He always comes out, and it's never a world beater. He's the best player on the pitch. But he does what he's supposed to do in the right moment. I think Jesse Marsch and the system could really take him to a place where in 4 years' time, when he's 26, he is a very good player for Canada.
Interesting. I don't disagree with you. I need to see where Sigurd goes next and where his club football takes him.
Wolves are mentioned this week, right? League Championship.
I try not to get involved in the transfer.
He only cares when it's done. He doesn't care about the rumors and the links.
Like Anonymous FC is reporting this. I'm like, okay.
When the ink is dry.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that even with Nico Sigurd, we've been there before. So I went in a little bit of a different direction. One player who was part of Canada's team and two others who were on the outside looking in to the squad that was selected. I was shocked that Nathan Saliba didn't play in that final game against Morocco.
It's a big call, man.
I mean, he is everything. And remember, coming into 2022, who was the player that I mentioned? I said, who's the player off the radar that has a chance to really make an impression with Canada? That's Saliba. He needs to be part of the midfield solution going forward, especially with Kone out for a considerable period of time. The other two players on that reel, Ralph Priso was the most informed center back that was Canadian heading into the World Cup, and for whatever reason, he didn't go. They took a player that couldn't play. But hold on. Elfie Jones literally was injured. He hadn't played since forever.
Ralph Priso is a fantastic player, and he's got a huge future. And last year, Vancouver, playing centre back for the first time, a revelation. But it was too soon for him.
No.
It really was. Who would you...
It was too late for Archie Jones. Alfie Jones. I don't even know. He didn't play.
Ankle injury, but it's a soft muscle injury in the end that cost him, right?
My impression is I don't think that Marsch is that high on Ralph Priso because he's a 5'9" center back. I do. I honestly think that certain coaches like certain players for certain reasons. Priso is the best distributor from center back position that Canada has. He is. He might not be the biggest or strongest or most physically demanding, but the way that he sees the game, he distributes, he needs to be in the next squad to see what he can bring.
But Jesse Marsch will question how raw he is right now and his decision-making at the moment.
Yeah. Which is fair enough. He's a young player. Games, though.
Yeah, but not a centre-back.
I think name me a more informed Canadian centre-back going into that World Cup. There wasn't one.
I get
that was the answer. It was him.
Playing MLS.
It's because he wasn't fully fit.
But he's not just playing MLS. He was playing with the best team in MLS.
It's another hamstring, though. You're right.
And then the other one was Daniel Jebison. I think it was kind of crazy that he didn't go either because he's a 22-year-old player who's now with Bournemouth, scored a preseason goal. It has the tools to be something special moving forward. He does. He is like a freak of nature, like that mix of size, finish. He hasn't shown well with Canada, but at some point you say, well, what's with Canada's attack that all these good attacking players who are scoring goals elsewhere can't do it with their national team? Jefferson, by all accounts, was pissed off that he.
Well, I hope he was.
He was led. No, but he was led that he was going to. That was one of the reasons, as a dual national, he committed to Canada, and then poof, you're out of the mix. And Jaden Nelson's in.
Right, but all the injuries at the back, though, I think that's why they had to bring one less striker, and it was unfair on him. It was unfair on him. I think he would have made the squad otherwise.
Jaden Nelson came on and played 5 minutes at the end of the tournament. It was like
but it ended up being a number.
And then Schaffelberg, but you had more numbers out wide than you did up top.
You had more question marks out wide. That's why. And I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that's why. If anyone was going,
Jefferson has to play. That's my point.
Yeah.
That's the point.
No, moving forward.
Yes, because he's like he can be
Let's
like
rehash the squad selection
maker as a number 9.
No, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I'm saying for the World Cup, I can understand why Jesse Marsh did that with wingers and left Jebo at home, even though I think Jebo has like a high ceiling, and I think he would be a fantastic striker.
At the end of the day, was Kennedy's problem on the wing, or was it the inability to score goals at the World Cup?
Listen,
who was right and who's wrong here?
Bim Peppel, just remember that one.
You're going with Bim.
Oh, yeah, he's young, I know, and he hasn't done it on the top level just yet, but watch him this season.
Jabo!
All right, Canada, back in action. Could be some young kids, and please put our concerns to rest, Jesse, and bring some youngsters, see what they have. September 26th.
Play them. Don't just bring them.
October the 3rd.
Play them.
Play them. Get some minutes.
Play them.
We need more captains.
Jabo!